Uh, I'm presently studying out ninth book, the Confidence Game, the Confidence Game by Maria Konnikova, the author of the Mastermind and the confidence game. Why we fall for it every time. That's what we're learning. Why we fall for it every time, and how we can avoid falling for the confidence game. How we can avoid being a victim of being swindled, a victim of being mugged, a victim of being forward. And we have that all over social media. We have people, trying to gain access to our WhatsApp, to use it for their evil intent. They come and they're so like they're harmless. They talk so harmlessly, and they want to just suck us in. They are suckers. They want to suck us in. And what we're doing in this book here is just to learn how to overcome such temptation, such deception in our life, so that we can, and they won't have one on us. We have one on them. We're ahead of them in the game. We don't become victims, of such people who try to abuse trust, right? That's what we're learning. We're also taking the extra effort to just look at confidence on its own. As much as these people abuse trust is a major factor in life. So the ability to trust and be trusted will make you rich. The ability to trust and be trusted will make you rich. If people cannot trust you, if you cannot trust people, you cannot be rich. You cannot make it in this life. You'll be a loner, right? You'll walk alone, but loners don't make money. Loners don't become rich. You need other people in your life. And in that wise, you need to be able to gain trust and give trust also. So hopefully we'll be able to look at that good opposite side to swindling. This is our third session in chapter 1 of the book. That's where we're on right now. And chapter 1 of the book talks about the victim, who is the mark, and also the grifter, who is a sucker, the doodler, the swindler, the 419 person, the muggler, and so we're going to talk about them. But first, we want to talk about every one of us. Every one of us are potential victims, and what makes us victims and what we can do about it. That's what we started talking about 2 weeks ago now. This is our third time, in that topic, talking about the mark, who is the potential victim, who is really every one of us. So we're going to continue from where we stopped last week. We had a group session. We had several people come and we engaged, and we got a lot more because of the engagement. Hopefully we'll have that. So we talk about the mark. It said it should be no reflection upon a man's intelligence to be swindled. We said that being swindled is not because you're not intelligent, right? Being swindled might be because you don't have street wisdom, right? It doesn't tell on your IQ. If someone is able to swindle you, can be the most intelligent person, but you can still be swindled. The question is whether you are streetwise or not. These people know that you're intelligent, and they write a script for you. There's a script for the intelligent. There's a script for the unintelligent. There's a script for the rich. There's a script for the poor. It's an intelligently written script in such a way to get you suckered into the game. They study you, they know you, and they bring the things that can hopefully make you fall. I've been a bit into sort of a victim of this in the what we call the timeshare. The timeshare is a big time con artistry game. I've been several times in their meetings, and them trying to sucker me into buying a timeshare. Fortunately, unfortunately, I have bought timeshares at least two times. Two times. I bought into the Marriott timeshare in Las Vegas. I bought into there was another one we bought, and when we went somewhere else also. I mean, Las Vegas was when I was living in California, and I felt, hey, all right, we can always come to Vegas. It's just about 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours drive from where we live. We thought we could come every so often. So we bought it, but we never used it. We never went back. We didn't go back off that often when we lived out in California. And but it was just a game to make money, so yeah, but they pressure you into buying into it. That's the con part of it. They note who you are. First of all, they won't want you to come unless you are such a person that can make a decision, at that meeting without leaving. So they will ensure that you have your driver's license, you have your credit card, otherwise you'll not be admitted into the meeting place. They want it such that you can make a decision before you leave. They do know that if you leave there without making a decision, you're most likely not to fall for it, because all you have to do is give a little more thought to it and you find out that it's a scam, right? So yeah, and the other one out in Conroe, Texas, because it was close to where we're living when we lived out in Houston, and I felt, oh, all right, we can always come out here to Conroe, but the whole scheme really doesn't make sense, financially speaking. But more than anything else is the way you get pressure to buy one, to buy a timeshare, and the way they bring people that supposedly know you or supposedly are like you. If you go to a particular church, you're gonna bring someone that's probably been to that church before, just someone that can speak your same language, all in a bid to pressure you. There's a way they delay you such that you are so tired that hopefully they think you will make a decision because you are tired. They change it from hand to hand. It's also it's a con game. It's a con game, and I've been in at least I've been that's one, two. I've been in another one in Florida. So about three or four meetings I've been in with all of this, and I can just summarize it's all a con game. They're trying to pressure you to make a decision that you have not truly thought through. They're not reasoning with you. They're trying to pressure you to make a financial decision, that will profit them and not really profit you. Right? So it's not about just being intelligent, because they try and talk your language, speak your language. They try and delay you, right? So that you feel so tired because you're moving from one meeting to the other, right? And you get so tired that you just want to go out. And they just want to leave the place, and they're hoping that you'll make a decision to leave. The other part is also that yeah, yeah. So, and they just want you to make a decision before you leave, But let's go on here. So anyone can be a victim of these guys. So it's for you to just wise up, so you don't get suckered into it. Abraham Lincoln says you can fool all the people some of the time. Right. It says you can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all the time. So over time, you're gonna your eyes will get open. Uh, hopefully your eyes will get open if you're not too busy with other things, but they do try to fool you, and they believe so much in their craft that they repeat the same game over and over again, hoping that someone will fall for it. They're not smart enough to have variants of their game. It's just about the same game, so but people fall. That's a funny thing. People do fall. They still call to talk about that your group has a meeting, try to give you a code when it's kind of known by all. But in your being busy, you could easily get suckered into it.